Ho, 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 Merry Christmas in July. Yes, we're having our 4th annual Christmas in July, and for the last 2 years we've called it the Crafty Christmas in July, and so that's the name that's going to stick. So this year is the Crafty Christmas in July 24, and it's going to run July 1st through July 31st of 2024. Now this year, everything has exploded. Last year we had 13 collaborators. This time we have 24 plus me. Now, 24 people that have agreed to do at least 4 videos during the month of July. Some are going to do more, I know. Some will do 4. And then there's me, crazy person, who's going to make a giant lapbook this year. Last year I did 2 smaller projects, or not smaller, but 2 books and journals. And this year I'm going to make one great big lapbook. So hopefully you'll stick with me through all the videos, and we won't have a big fall off, towards the end. At least take a look and put it on your playlist. Be sure to make comments and things. I love to answer comments. So now we're also going to have a drawing in the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and that's going to be on August 1st. Now the drawing entry is going to go through July 31st, and you're going to post pictures at Sweet Pea Papers and my other Facebook group, which is Junk Journal Tutorials and More, and then that's how you're going to enter the drawing, and I'm going to go into that in a little more detail in just a second. Now the videos that I post are obviously going to be at Sweet Pea Papers, and I would like to say that I'm going to be mentioning a bunch of stuff, so don't worry, all the links are going to be below. So the 24 collaborators, their links are going to be listed individually below this video, and to their YouTube channels. So please, please, please click on their links and go watch their videos, and let's make this a great event for everybody. And of course you'll benefit from all of the different styles and types of books and all that kind of stuff. They're not all necessarily going to be journals. Some people are going to do 4 individual short projects. Some people are going to do larger projects. Some people are going to do just the 4 video projects. So I'm going into this in a little bit more detail because this is video 1. We won't be doing this in every single video. We'll just go through the pages real quick. Now, a little more detail on how to enter the drawing. Now, you can enter July 1st through July 31st at midnight Seattle time, which is Pacific time, so that gives you East Coasters until 3 in the morning on August 1st, actually. Now, to enter the drawing, you post your pictures of your Christmas projects using the hashtag. It's very important. Use the hashtag Crafty Christmas in July 24. And you can only post your pics to go get entries into the drawings. Now, you can post your pics in other Facebook groups. That'd be great. But just to get in the drawing, you're going to post them in the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group or the Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group. And those are the 2 groups that are going to get you the entries. So each post equals 1 entry. So if you have more than 1 pic, I would suggest posting them 1 at a time to get more entries. Now that's just me. You can do whatever you like. And you can post in both groups at the same time and double your chances to win. So let's say you have a picture that you're going to post in Sweet Pea Papers. Go ahead and go over to Junk Journal Tutorials and More and post the same picture, and then that will get you an entry over there. And I'm going to combine the entries into one big drawing this time. We're not going to have a drawing at Junk Journal Tutorials and More and a drawing at Sweet Pea Papers. We're only having a drawing at Sweet Pea Papers because that's my main sponsor, I guess you would call it, to the collaboration and event. So they're going to get merged into one big list. So that will give you extra entries into the one big list if you post in both places. You got it? Okay. Now, none of this would be able to be done without the wonderful, wonderful designers who have donated kits, some multiple kits, to be used by the collaborators to make their projects. So these are the designers. Line Dot Arrow, Cara Brandon Creations, Nonstop Paper Crafts, Crafty Dragon Creations, Natty and Moon, Studio 28E Journal Creations, The Trucking Scribe, and Beauty and Books Co. Now, when you are looking at the text under the video, you will see a Linktree link, and it will say linktr.ee/Crafty Christmas in July 24. Click on that link, and then it will open a window, and there'll be a link to every single one of the designers, and you can go check out their shops. Some of them are going to be running sales for the month of July on their Christmas kits. Won't that be fun? And then some of them are going to have their regular July discounts for whatever it is they're doing as well, in their groups and YouTube channels and such. So you can check those out as well. So it's not going to be just Christmas. Okay, so once again, it's Line Dot Arrow, Cara Brandon Creations, Nonstop Paper Crafts, Crafty Dragon Creations, Natty and Moon, Studio 2080 Journal Creations, The Trucking Scribe, and Beauty and Books Co., which I'm sure stands for company. Okay, so that's it for this part of the intro. And if you have any questions, please post them below. Comments below the video do not count as entries. You have to go to one of the 2 Facebook groups and post your pictures. Okay, so in times past, I have counted comments under the video, but that's just too much this year. Last year it was insane. We had 160 videos, I think. I watched every single one except for mine, and I already saw them. And then I also used comments under the videos, and that was just too crazy for me, you guys. I can only do so much. I'm only one person. Okay, so that's it for that. Now, this is the kit that I'm going to use for my Lapbook, which is Cozy Christmas by Line Dot Arrow and Nonstop Paper Crafts. It's a collaboration kit. So, as you can see, it's a very large kit. This is not any of the ephemera, okay? These are just the pages. So I am obviously not going to do a flip through of 70 pages. It's just not going to happen. However, we will look at the junk journal pages, which are here. I sorted them out, I think. And these are a combination of the 2 plus freebies. Now, speaking of freebies, Line Dot Arrow has donated freebies for every week for the Cozy Christmas kit. So if you happen to pick that up, it's totally up to you. Half of it's at Line Dot Arrow, half of it is at Nonstop Paper Crafts, plus there's an add-on at each Etsy shop. So if you want to get what I'm using, you'll need to get all 4 and then pick up the freebies that I'm going to post at Junk Journal Tutorials and More and Sweet Pea Papers Facebook groups. Okay, I guess I could have been turning pages while I said all that, but I was concentrating. I'm going to have to make a card for the freebies, aren't I? Because I forgot to mention them. So what I'm thinking is we're going to use some of these as writing paper pages. But then I'm thinking I'm going to print out another copy of just the junk journal pages. I believe there's 10. And I think we're going to put a journal inside of our Lapbook this year. So we're going to make an extra special Lapbook. Those are the journal pages. these are our two cover graphics for covers. Journal, what do you call them? Signature covers, probably. And then these are all the wonderful collage papers. And there's a bunch. Now, about the papers, as you will notice, they have the larger border at the top and the bottom, which means they're UK sized. So when you print them out on 8.5 by 11, you need to turn off your borderless and turn off your fit to page. Otherwise, you're going to lose part of the image around the page. Now, that's up to you if you're willing to sacrifice. You know, on pages like this, it might not make a difference, but I didn't want to work with two different size papers. I haven't printed on the backs of these. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. We're going to be using some of them as, you know, writing areas. So I probably need to pick a tan or something that looks like paper, backing paper. Unfortunately, I'll have to print it on the back of everything. So that's going to be a lot of yellow. A lot of yellow ink. Anyway, so you're going to have to trim them down. Whenever we make a paper that's the full height, then we're going to have to trim it down. The measurements on this, I believe, let me make sure. It's 7.5 instead of 8.5. So it's 7.5 by 10 and 5/8. So that's going to be fun for that. My printer prints out a double border on one side and a single border on the other. I have no idea why. I've gone in the settings. I've tried everything I can think of, and I can't figure out why it does that. So we're going to have to plan our Lapbook around that. 7 3/4, 7.5. All right, let's start with that. 7.5. So the pages, the kit papers, are 7.5 by, what did we say, 10 3/4? I was just going to go by 10 3/4. Yeah, the straighter I hold it, the closer it gets. 10 3/4. So now if we add 1/8 of an inch to each of the top and the bottom and the left and the right, so that means we're going to add 1/4 of an inch on for our little border that we want to have around all the sides. So kit papers, no, so our papers need to be, this will be 8 by 11. Okay, so we're going to have to trim 1/2 an inch off the height, basically, of all our pages. Okay, I'm still trying to decide on a background color. I really wanted to do black to make the colors pop, but I just almost can't make myself do it. I'm I really, really, really didn't want to do cream, but if I do, then I'll use scorched timber, which will give us a darker edge, and that will make the colors pop out of the pages a little bit better. We could use walnut stain, but I think that's too dark. I also have ground espresso. Yeah. So we'll need to know that pretty soon, what I'm going to do. Now, I want to make an extra large lap book. Now, the lap book itself, the full-sized panels are going to be 8.5. No. Let me think about this. We want there to be 1/8 of an inch. Okay. So that's going to be 8.25. This is what size cardboard we're going to cut, by 11.25. I'm using cereal boxes, so I can do that. I have some mega-sized cornflake boxes. I didn't realize how big that box of cereal was going to be, and I ordered 3 for the month. They didn't have my Special K, and I forgot how much less flavor the cornflakes have than Special K. Anyway, so we got 8.25 by 11.25 on the full-sized panels. Now, we're going to have 2 of those. So we're going to have a 3-inch spine in the center. So we're going to have a 3-inch spine, 3-inch spine, don't know why I'm drawing it that long. I don't really need to. Then we're going to have 2 panels that are 8.25 by 11.25. So 2 panels that are going to be 8.25. I'm going to run out of room. I better not make them that big. But I do want to be able to see the difference. So we're going to make it like this. It's going to be 8.25. By 11.25. Right, and then we're going to have an 8.25. We're going to do an extra couple of panels just to make your life crazier. 8.25 by 11.25. Okay. Now, those are going to fold up this way. Then we're going to have a spine on one side of 1 inch. I wonder if we should make this 3.5. Yeah, I think we should. 3 1/2 and make this 1 1/2. 1/2. And that's going to be a spine. Oops. It's going to be a crooked spine. I don't do straight lines very well anymore. Well, we're a little wavery, but we got it. Okay, so we got 1 1/2 by 11 1/4. Then we're going to have, we need space so that when it closes in, it doesn't touch this one. So this one is going to be, it's going to be the same height, but it's going to be shorter. And we're going to have 2 of those. I don't know how I'm going to do this paper. So we need to have, I would say, a 1/2 inch. So this is going to be 7 3/4 by 11 1/4. Now we're going to have to cut all, if you're using a cereal box, you're going to have to cut all of these pieces twice because you need to glue them together. I think I might use lightweight cardboard or lightweight, you know what I'm talking about, lightweight chipboard, which is like cardboard, and then glue them together because, oh no, I can't, because then I can't do 11 1/4. All right. And then we're going to have another 7 3/4. And I want to add an extra spine and an extra panel. This is going to be 11 1/4. Nope, not right. We're missing a spine. Okay, so now instead of a 1 1/2 inch spine, we're going to have a 2 inch spine. By 11 1/4. And then might as well write them all the same way. So that's 2 inches. So now this right here would be, well, let's see. Let me see if I got this right. The folds in to here. So I need a 7 3/4. By 11 1/4. And then to fold in the middle of this one, we're going to need a 1 inch spine. That'll make our Nope, that's not going to be right. Alright, so we're going to have our two big pieces, the spine. And that's going to fold like this and then fold like that. This is going to fold like this, fold like that. But I want another spine here. Whoops, you can't see. I want another spine here because I want another up and in that'll be inside of that. So I need one spine and one extra piece. Yeah, so I need one spine. Oh, we made this 3.5. That's what the difference is. So this is going to be 1.5. And then this is going to be 7.25. Well, it isn't exactly straight on the paper, but it did fit on the paper. So now what's going to happen is, let's see if I have, yeah, hold on. I'm trying to find a, okay, here's a Christmas one I did from a couple of years ago, and I did it with pad paper called Let It Snow. So now this is your basic Lapbook layout. You have, when you look at it on the end, you've got two pieces. This one's, I didn't make the pieces quite long enough in the center. That's why it kind of wants to go in. So I'll remember that for the next time. So you got two here, and it opens up like this. You'll see I made a thing in the computer that had all the pieces. But it then opens up like this. You're not going to be able to see the whole thing, but it opens up like this. And what I want to do is add one more spine here and have another piece fold in like that. That'll be inside of this when it folds in like that. Okay? I'm going to go crazy on you guys. Now, yeah, to do that, I need a spine smaller than this one. Right? 1.5. Or do I want just a 1-inch spine? That would make that one 2.5. No. 1.5. And that will give us that extra little fold in here. There'll be another spine here and another little fold in here, like one of these going in this way. And then inside there is where we're going to put our journal. Okay, that's my plan. I have no idea how, once I glue all these on paper, I'm going to flip that long edge up, you know, to put the cover on. I just don't know. I do not know how it's going to work. Yeah. So what you need to do, if you're going to make one like this, you're going to need to add all these together, add 1/4 of an inch in between for your folds, add all that together, and that will tell you how much paper you need, the length of the paper plus an inch on each end. The height of the paper is 11 1/4, so you're going to need 12 1/4 tall, which is impossible. Oh, 11 1/4 is way too tall. That's why. It's only 7 1/2. I did this backwards, didn't I? No, not for landscape. I'm just showing you this so that you can figure one out for yourself, you know, that you want to do, if you want to do something different than what I'm doing. What I'm doing is madness. So that's going to be, that's my mistake. It's not 1/2, it's 3/4. So it's 7 3/4. There we go, 1/4 of an inch mistake. So the panels are going to be 8 So that's going to make this that'll still be right. Okay. And this will be 7 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to try to make the panels for this, and I'm going to print the backs of the papers and trim them. Put this back in this book. It's a little, as you can see, it's a little loosey-goosey. That's why I wouldn't I don't think I would sell it, because it's a little, you see what I mean? It's a little off when you look at it from up here. Do you see? The spine is too short. The ends of the book right here are too short. There's too much space in between here and here. The spine is okay, this size, the size of the spine. Hey, how big is this? I think it's a 3-inch spine, and I think those are 1 1/2 and 1 1/2. All right. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do. If I had some Christmas cloth, that would be much easier, you know. So let me get my calculator. So we have 7.75 plus 1.5 plus 8 plus 3.5 plus 8 plus 2 plus 7.75 plus 1.5 again, 7.5 equals, oh, that can't be right, 14, 16 is 30, 37, yeah, I got an extra one in there, 7.75 plus 1.5 plus 8 plus 3.5 plus 8 plus 2 plus 7.5 plus 1.5 plus, nope, 47.5. So that equals, oh, and I didn't even add the quarters in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 quarters is another 2 inches. So, and an inch on either side. So 4, that's going to be 51 inches. Wow. It's going to be a total of 51 inches. By 11 1/4. That seems wrong. It is, because we're not making it 8.5 by 11. This is too tall. We're going to make them this way, half. This is all wrong. Except for the spines. And I'll tell you why they are wrong. Because it's going to be like this. So our measurement of 7 3/4 is the height. Then we cut them in half, and they're going to be 5 1/2. 10 3/4 divided by 2 is going to be 5 3/8. So 5 3/8. That's what I did. 5 3/8. This is going to be 5 3/8. Well, 5 3/8 plus a quarter. So that's going to be 6/4, 7/4. So it's going to be 6 3/4. Is that right? No, it can't be. 3/8 to make it into fourths. To add them together is going to be 6/8, 7/8. That's right. 7/8. And that's going to be 3/8, 6 3/8. So that's not going to be 5 and... Oh, for cripe's sakes. You get my drift. Can't believe I'm not doing this right. I think... Yeah, so you want to divide the 10 3/4 in half. So that's going to be 5 3/8 equals 1/2. So I'm going to have 5 3/8 plus a quarter. So that's 6/4 plus 1/4 is 7/4. Oh, because I only want to add a quarter. It's 1/8 on either side. Okay, so we've got 6, 7/4. So that's 1 3/4. So that's going to be 6 3/4. That's still not right. All right, I'll figure it out. I can't believe I can't do the simple math. It's because I'm on camera. That's why. Bye. All right, this isn't going to be 8. The panels are going to be... panels are going to be I'll give you the measurements. I'll make up a sheet like this and make a PDF out of it for you to download for this project once I figure it out, because I'm losing my mind. Because this is 10 something. This must be 5 1/8. 5 1/8. I think it's listed 10 1/2. So all right, well, I'll figure it out. I can't believe I can't do it. It's because my brain hurts. It's 5:30 in the morning. So I will figure out the measurements across. I can't believe I was thinking we were going to do them this way. We're doing them this way. So the width is going to be half of the total width plus a quarter. Okay? All right, so that's what that's going to be. And that's what, and then each one of these is going to have another 1/4 of an inch around. So you're going to have to add another 1/4 of an inch to whatever you get for the inside measurement. These are going to be the outside measurements. And that's going to change everything. This is going to be 7 3/4. Right, because it's 7 1/2. So it's going to be 7 3/4. All right, let me think about that too, because that's going to be our inside measurement is 7 3/4. So I think we're going to want 8. And that sounds right. That sounds like what I remember. See, I'm thinking, you know, it's usually closer to 6 by 8. And these are smaller, so it's got to be less. Okay? So the kit papers are this. Our papers are going to be less. And then our full-size panels are going to be whatever these are down here. Okay? All right, well, that's going to be it for this video. We've got 45 minutes in and I'm totally confused. I have to redo my measurements. And then I'll see you in the next video. I'll have the papers printed on the back and trimmed. I'll have these pieces made and hopefully enough paper of whatever color I decide on. See, I just think this would look so great against black. It would just bring out these accents. And I've got bigger black pieces of paper. Got A5s. All right, I'll decide. I'll see you in the next video. And that'll be just a second for you and a day for me. Sorry about the math. Okay, bye.